I've been asked from many different people, what should I play? The Caro-Kann Defense or the French Defense? And it's a really tough question to answer, but I'll take this time with you to learn what is the appropriate choice for you between these two opening defenses, and we'll see together what is the best choice. I play both of them myself, and I'll know the ins and outs how to play each one, and we'll just determine for you what is the better approach as a defense for black. Alright, let's talk about the opening that is really easy to play. It's popular to most of my students I have, and also it's really more popular on the top level compared to the other one, and it is the Caro-Kann Defense. I really recommend it for beginners because it's really easy to play and you can't get crushed really easily in the game, so therefore you get a good game pretty much every time. And this is going to be a really, I'll say, a really good opening if you're not sure what to play against e4, and e4 is a really tough opening, especially if Bobby Fischer plays it. It's got to be good. And let's see about this opening. So basically the opening is characterized about e4 c6. This is the Caro-Kann Defense basically officially called off. So c6 is basically want to have a plan about doing d5, and basically there's no way to stop d5. So the most common moves for white is d4 and also knight f3. Knight c3 is also the same sort of bat, knight f3 pretty much. And the next one is bishop c4. And it's really good. And sometimes f4, but yeah, it's not really popular with f4 compared to the other ones. So let's do d4. d4 is basically the majority share of the games you're going to be having this Caro-Kann opening. So we go the plan, d5. Just remember, d5 is the second move in your head. Just anything that white does, d5, and the point is to do this attack on e4 and open up this center in the favorable way for black. So white has options here. The most popular by far in the top level, I think at least, is e5. e5 is the most pressing, and also e6, e5. I used to play this as white when I played e4 long time ago. And the next move is knight c3 or knight d2, same thread rather. And yeah, then the last one is really silly, but f3, you know. But let's do the e5 move. It's the most challenging for black in this position. But remember this one main point is the question about what to do with this light square bishop. And the question of this opening versus the French defense is this piece. This piece is why we play this Caro-Kann setup versus the French, because it's really wanted to get this bishop out before we do e6. When the French defense comes, we'll talk about this later, e6 is the first move you play as black, but this is not played yet in the Caro-Kann, so therefore we have the option now to get the bishop out of the pawn chain before we close it up with e6. So keep in mind, bishop before the e6 push in the Caro-Kann. Pretty much there's a rule that it's like not like, you know, has to be the only move, but is the main idea of the Caro-Kann. So now white can usually go knight f3. Most people play this way. Then now we do the e6 ceiling move. If you want to have an easy opening that is really solid, and a lot of people like to play it more in the top level than the French defense, and also it's harder to go wrong than the French defense, this is a choice. But I recommend, if you're really experienced and you have the time to study, you can do the French defense, my favorite opening of all time against this move 1e4 as a white player. And also, with this comes a lot of hate, because a lot of vocal people like to talk about this French defense as garbage. Is a discount Caro-Kann? Why do we entomb this bishop on c8? The light square bishop? Why? The reason is perspective. Out of all openings that Bobby Fischer played against as white, playing 1e4, the best by test move, he really had the most trouble. He really didn't like to play against the French defense. He had the most trouble with this opening than the Caro-Kann, rather than any opening, because of this. And myself, when I was starting to play rated chess, I did not like to play against the French defense. So the Caro-Kann is easy to play, but easier to play against. The French defense is harder to play, but harder to play against. So when you're experienced, I want to play an opening that is hard to play against. So that is why I play and opt for the French defense than the Caro-Kann. And the Caro-Kann is good. Play with it if you want, and all levels. But the French defense is my, let's say, method to just basically, let's say, crush the spirit of white. Because the E4 opening is trying to do open games. The game is open, woohoo! But the French defense is like, You can do open game with an exchange French, but it'll be boring in a sense if you want to. But there's no open games where you attack me, attack me, attack me. There's none of that. They can do gambits, whatever, but black is solid. So white usually does d4, and all those moves like knight c3 and knight f3, c4, and even f4 is called the Grand Prix attack. But let's focus on the main thing, d4. And now we go d5, just like the Caro-Kann c6, d5. We have e6, d5. And you remember that thing that we had trouble with in the Caro-Kann, the advanced variation? Well, the cool thing about the French defense, the advanced variation is not so stingy. It's really, it's a move, but it's not the main really attacking try to play against the French defense because of this sequence. So we have this sort of easy objective. Easy objective for the French defense? Yes, because white has an extended center. We have e5, d4, and we have a pawn structure, pawn chain like d4, e5. You want to have this mindset attack the base. And you can do this with c5. And you want to just take this pawn and have this e5 pawn be fragile. But usually people play c3. And people do knight f3 sometimes. I've seen this game really recently, but just take the pawn, and this e5 pawn will be weak and fragile. But instead, c3 is the main move. And we go knight c6. And we just pile on the pressure of this pawn center. We're not going to take twice, but this is possible to do this one, also this one, sometimes even this one, and just pressurize, pressurize, pressurize. And I say that if you pressurize this enough and you win the center, take down this pawn, like say chain, black is most often the case, it'll be better. If not, just equal easy game for black, not for white. So with this one, it's really easy to play, and the advanced variation is not a thing to worry about in the French defense. Not like their Caro-Kann, the Caro-Kann. The advanced variation is the main weapon against it. Not the French defense, but the advanced variation, the Caro-Kann, is the main move. And this is knight c3 or knight d2. A lot of people recently like to have this knight d2 move because the majority of people, and even the top levels, they play a very bad move. Don't do this. Don't do this. A very bad move is knight f6. It's the most popular at the top level. But white has a very big winning percentage. It's really miserable for black now. This one there, and it's like terrible. This is terrible. c5. It's like, oh, just normal, right? But then c3 happens. Knight c6, like we did the French advanced variation. But knight e2. Why not e2? Because they want to make sure that we don't have this break in f6, which is usually common in the advanced variation. But the thing is, like, knight f4 is coming, and he'll be just attacking this pawn. And white has an easy plan, and black doesn't have any easy plans, and it's just going to be cramp, and he's going to be losing a lot of games. Even the top level games are be lost. It's like a loss for black. But don't do this one. I recommend, it's very, I'll say, recommended by Wesley So. Wesley So. I had one lesson with him, and he recommended this move that I use. It's really offbeat a little bit, but bishop e7. But you probably think, well, I've seen the databases, c5 is also a good move, but it's boring. Drawish. You don't want to draw, you want to win as black. So, in this case, we go bishop e7. What is the point of that? Now, if they go the popular line for white, knight to f3, now we have permission to go knight f6. Now we have this permission to go this way because knight is committed to f3, not e2. There's no problems here. Knight f7, Knight bishop b3, c5, and the difference is this pawn is not going to be really worry anymore. The elephant in the room of why people don't play the French defense is like, why do you want to play this one? The French defense exchange variation is like, I'll just tell you, it's not so bad if you play the right way. Don't play boring as black. Play exciting chess. What I mean by that, the most popular move by a big margin is knight f3. But now we go this cool way. Majority move is knight f6, but it's like cut dry boring. Don't do this. Don't do this. Do instead knight c6. Knight c6. Asymmetry, basically not symmetry from your opponent. I'll be having you win a lot of games, then drawing. So bishop b3 is the main move. Now bishop b4. Oh, things are getting spicy because of the castle. Well, take the pawn at d4. We have to take the time of, okay, you're a threat, I understand, but now we have options. We can do this one, we can do queen e7. I love this queen e7 move because we have to have the threat of just attacking him. So the castle, well, now we castle queenside. And we're going to just do this easy plan for black. And we can do like arguments of like maybe easier for white, but it's really exciting games. You're going to have so much fun playing this way versus like the really symmetrical exchange variation that you would like to play this every time as black. Because if they go like pawn versus b4, well, there's no problems. So we have this plan of this one, f6, d5, h5. You know, they can just take them there if you want to, but if not, we can do bishop f5, g4, maybe h4 first, and you're going to cream the white structure, and you have a plan. Attack quicker than white has attacked, even though you're black. Play the French defense like I do, and you'll have a lot of good times and memories playing the French defense. So I recommend, if you're really serious about chess openings, play the French defense.
Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.